Good evening. Welcome back to UINDY TV News. I'm Jacksen Strassburger.
And I'm Alyssa Puente.
At least 9 people are dead and 11 others are injured after a UPS plane exploded during the takeoff at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Last night around 5:15, a UPS flight 2976 was on the runway when it burst into flames. According to local police, a shelter in place was issued to all areas north of the airport. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said the number of fatalities and people injured could grow as an investigation remains at the scene. During a briefing on Tuesday, officials confirmed that the plane was carrying about 38,000 gallons of jet fuel. The Federal Aviation Administration and National Transport Safety Board are working to investigate the crash.
Last night, the U.S. military launched an unarmed nuclear missile across the Pacific Ocean. This happened in a pre-planned firing, and it marks the Pentagon's first weapons test since President Donald Trump recently directed the U.S. to start nuclear weapons testing for the first time in over 30 years. Trump said he wants to keep pace with other countries such as Russia and China. He said in a CBS interview, quote, "Russia's testing and China's testing, but they don't talk about it." According to the BBC, Russia and China have not carried out such tests since the 1990s. On Monday, U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright cleared up some of these comments by the president. He said, quote, "These are not nuclear explosions," and instead, quote, "These are what we call non-critical explosions." Wright said people who live near historic testing sites should not be worried about seeing a mushroom cloud anytime soon.
Yesterday, Democrats swept key races in the 2025 election. The ballot served as the first test of Donald Trump's popularity since returning to office this year. Elections for governor were held in 2 states. In Virginia, Democrat Abigail Spanberger defeated Republican Wilson Earl Sears, while in New Jersey, Democrat Mikey Sherrill defeated Republican Jack Chatteralley. In New York City, Democrat Zoran Mondani was elected mayor, defeating Andrew Cuomo. Cuomo was a Democrat who ran as an independent after losing to Mondani in the primary. In California, voters approved a referendum held regarding the redrawing of states' congressional maps. This helps favor the Democrats and is response to similar efforts by the Republicans in other states led by Texas.
One of America's most powerful modern vice presidents and chief architect of the War on Terror, Dick Cheney, passed away yesterday morning at age 84. In a statement from his family, Cheney's wife, daughters, and other family members were with him as he passed. The statement added he died due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. Cheney served 2 terms alongside Republican President George W. Bush between 2001 and 2009 and was for decades a towering and polarizing Washington power player. But Bush described Cheney in a statement Tuesday as a, quote, "decent, honorable man." In his final years, the hardline conservative became ostracized from his party over his criticism of President Donald Trump, whom he branded a coward and the greatest ever threat to the republic. Multiple former presidents paid tribute to Cheney on Tuesday to highlight the former vice president's public service.
The Trump administration said on Monday that it will fund 50% of November's payments for SNAP recipients. This is below its normal full funding, but above its earlier statement of not funding the program at all in November. In response to orders by federal judges issued Friday of last week, the government said it would use contingency funds to support the program amid the ongoing government shutdown. The judge's orders are in response to lawsuits filed by Democratic states. Many states have set aside funds to cover the gaps in federal funding. Many prominent Democrats include Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and have called for the Trump administration to fully fund SNAPs as nearly 42 million Americans receive the benefits.
After an appearance on CBS's 60 Minutes Sunday evening, President Donald Trump denied the possibility of the United States going to war with Venezuela. For the past couple of months, the U.S. has been building up a military force in the Caribbean Sea with warships, fighter jets, drones, bombers, and Marines. It is being considered the largest deployment to the area in 3 decades. Trump denied the claims that U.S.'s actions against Venezuela were not actually about stopping drugs and instead about ousting Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro, who is a longtime Trump opponent. Trump claims the military action in the region is a combination of multiple things. He emphasized the point of stopping drug flow into the U.S. CBS News reports at least 64 people have been killed by U.S. strikes in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific since early September.
On Saturday, President Trump said he has ordered the Defense Department to prepare for possible military action in Nigeria. This comes as he continues to accuse the nation of not doing enough to stem violence against Christians. Trump added the U.S. is considering cutting off aid to African countries, and then he went to social media to prepare the Pentagon for potential action, claiming Islamic terrorists inhabit Nigeria. Nigeria has denied President Trump's accusations. Both Christians and Muslims have been victims of attack by radical Islamics, the country of more than 230 million people. The violence in the country is driven by varying factors.
Tips from the public led to the arrest of two men who authorities say are responsible for a weekend explosion inside a Harvard medical research lab. Logan David Patterson, age 18, and Dominic Frank Cardoza, age 20, were arrested yesterday. The two were charged with conspiracy to damage by means of fire or an explosive a building belonging to an institution that receives federal financial assistance, according to a criminal complaint. Court documents allege on Saturday at 2:45 a.m. Harvard police received the fire alarm alert. When on the scene, they found what they believed to be a large commercial firework detonated inside a wooden locker. U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Lee Foley, said it's too early to speculate on the motive as the investigation is ongoing.
The FBI says they have successfully foiled what they are calling a potential terrorist attack in Michigan this past weekend. Director Kash Patel said federal agents took 5 people into custody, all from the Dearborn and Inkster area of Michigan. According to senior law officials, they had a connection to ISIS extremists and are naturalized citizens from a Middle East country and had access to firearms and firearm training. Officials said the group had discussed carrying out some sort of terror attack around Halloween to their arrest on Friday. It's unclear if these targets for potential attacks, but officials are stressing there is no current threat to the public.
This past weekend marked the worst for air traffic control since the government shutdown began last month. The Federal Aviation Administration had 98 staffing trigger reports between facilities from Friday to Sunday night. Air traffic control had to change operations to deal with having fewer available staff. The 30 largest airports across the country suffered shortages over the weekend. Air traffic controllers are considered essential staff and must work despite not getting paid. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said some workers have called in sick and protested.
One of the monkeys that escaped an overturned truck last week in Mississippi was shot dead by a mother who said she feared for the safety of her children. Jessica Bond Ferguson said her 16-year-old son alerted to her a monkey in the backyard in Mississippi. She said her and the other residents have been warned about the escaped monkeys and that they carry diseases. The 35-year-old mother told the Associated Press that she got out of bed, grabbed her gun and cell phone, and shot the animal roughly 60 feet away. The monkeys were being housed at a Tulane University National Biomedical Research Center in New Orleans for scientific research. They escaped last weekend while being transported. There's been confusion surrounding the escape, including how many monkeys were being transported, who owned them, and why the truck overturned.
Actress Diane Ladd passed away Monday afternoon at her home in Ojai, California at the age of 89. Ladd's breakthrough role came in 1974 in the Martin Scorsese film Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, earning Ladd her first of 3 Oscar nominations. Her other 2 nominations came in the 90s for supporting roles in Wild at Heart and Rambling Rose, both of which also featured her daughter, actress Laura Dern. Ladd was born in Mississippi in 1935. Her career lasted 6 decades with various television and film roles from the late 1950s until the 2010s.
Thank you, Alyssa. Jace, I've got some plans later. How am I for the rest of the night? How is it going to be feeling for us?
It's going to be feeling pretty good outside in the mid-50s to low 50s as the night progresses. And yes, it's already dark outside at 6 p.m. That daylight savings time has kicked in, and it's dark awfully early, way earlier than I personally would like, but we'll remain in the 50 degrees and clear skies throughout the majority of the night. That won't be the case, though, for the rest of the week. As we look here at the weather map, there's a deepening system currently pushing its way through. We have the center of high pressure system currently over the Midwestern area, keeping us dry, keeping us somewhat cool. But as you look up here, you see some low pressure system with some rain, some possible snow. We'll get into how that impacts us in my future update here in just a little bit. But first, some more local news.
The round table where no topic is off limits. NFL, NBA, MLB, college, you name it, we got it. We don't report on sports, we debate them. From legacy to greatness. From touchdowns to blocks at the red. You decide who's right. Tune in to the debate at UINDY TV on YouTube every Tuesday at 6 p.m. or on Spotify at First Stop Sports. News. How much time we got? Okay. Coffee. I love coffee.
We're on the air.
All right. Good evening, I'm Chris Hammer, here to report the news for you. For your campus, local, and national headlines, UINDY TV News has got you covered. Wednesdays at 6.
Yeah. Okay, guys, seriously, basketball and hockey have got to be the best sports around. Speed, skill, drama, 7-game series, they have got it all.
Nah, baseball is the best sport, and that's just a fact, Jace.
You guys are both wrong. It's 100% football. You guys need to get on the football train.
Everyone stop. Why fight now when you can watch us debate on Grand Slam Sports on YouTube on Fridays at 6 p.m. or on Xfinity Channel 1096. Indiana lawmakers are getting ready to tackle redistricting and is coming sooner than expected. House Speaker Todd Huston says the General Assembly will discuss redistricting and tax issues in early December as part of the regular 2026 session. Officials say having it in the regular session saves taxpayer money and keeps things efficient, but Democrats are pushing back. House Leader Phil Giaquinta says lawmakers should focus on lowering living costs, while Senate Leader Shelley Yoder says it's a power grab to protect Republicans. The 2026 session official starts November 18th, with work expected to wrap by December 12th before lawmakers return in January.
Indianapolis and charitable organizations are providing resources for Hoosiers affected by the interruption of SNAP funding. People receiving SNAP benefits can use any remaining balances on their cards in November, but there are also resources for anybody looking for assistance. The city will be offering food giveaways through November where no sign-up or ID is required. Indy Park's also a free food and meal program. Gleaner's Food Bank is working to provide more access to healthy food at local pantries by buying from farmers and producers. Those in central Indiana are able to use the Community Compass app to find resources. Hoosiers can call Indiana 211 for the assistance, and more information can be found on indiana.gov.
First American Nuclear announced plans on Tuesday to establish an energy park and manufacturing facilities in Indiana. In a release, Governor Mike Braun said this will bring 5,000 high-paying jobs to the state. First American Nuclear says the energy park will include the Eagle 1 reactor. This design uses nuclear fuel and eliminates 97% of long-lasting nuclear waste. It also generates enough energy to power 1.5 million homes. The company plans to work with existing energy plants to make the transition to nuclear energy easier and to collaborate with local universities to create certifications and apprenticeships.
A Steuben County school program has temporarily closed its doors due to a lack of funding from the government shutdown. Fremont Community Schools Superintendent William Stitt, who also is the district chief financial officer, told Wish TV his Head Start students and staff didn't get their annual funding approval for this month. Head Start program aid low-income families, children, and school readiness from birth to age 5 by enhancing their cognitive, social, and emotional development. According to the Indiana Head Start Association, there are 42 Head Start programs in state serving nearly 13,000 students and employing about 4,000 people. Fremont Community Schools Head Start was one of the 6 in the state that are supposed to be receiving their annual funding approval this month. Executive Director Rhett Cecil said 5 of the programs secured temporary funding from other sources, but Fremont was unable to. It's unclear if the Head Start program will be funded through December.
A teenager from Indy's east side got a dangerous surprise in her Halloween candy. 13-year-old Caitlin O'Connor went trick-or-treating in Irvington like she normally does. According to Fox 59, her mom checked her candy the night of Halloween. But on Saturday morning, O'Connor got a needle stuck in her mouth after biting into a bite-sized Snickers. O'Connor said she was frustrated and upset because she didn't expect the Irvington residents to do such a thing. The teen was medically cleared and the police took the needle and candy for further investigation.
IMPD and Amazing Grace Christian Church came together Monday night for their annual Prayers for Our City event. The gathering brought community members and officers together for prayers in healing, safety, and unity across Indianapolis. Bishop Preston T. Adams III and IMPD chaplain officers manager John Russell talked about finding hope after a violent weekend that left several people injured and 1 juvenile dead in several shootings. Adams said events like this help the city heal and remind their strength in coming together and hope for a better future.
Indiana University Bloomington Chancellor David Reingold will allow the Indiana Daily Student to print again this semester. Reingold sent a letter to the IDS stating their editors can determine how the paper's budget is used through the end of the fiscal year. Co-editors-in-chief Andrew Miller and Mia Hilkowitz said they are celebrating their win, but remain cautious of trusting the administration. The university decided to end print editions alongside the firing director of student media, Jim Rodenbush, who filed a lawsuit on October 30th claiming IU violated his First Amendment rights. The chancellor has argued against the claim that IU attempted to censor editorial content, writing that, quote, the IDS is and remains editorially independent.
The Indianapolis Colts are going international. The team is heading to Berlin this Sunday to face the Atlanta Falcons, but before the kickoff, the team has been working hard at building its fan base overseas, with a little bit of help from their mascot, Blue. Mascot specialist Isaac Source has been bringing Blue's big personality to Germany, appearing at major events like the Berlin Marathon and Formula E. Team leaders say Blue is the key to connecting with new fans and introducing German audiences to the fun side of American football. The Colts have hoped this overseas trip will not only boost engagement for Sunday's game, but also help, quote, paint Germany blue for the seasons to come.
Thank you, Jackson. Jace, let's turn to you. It's the first weekend of November. What's the weather going to be looking like for us?
Well, for right now, some fall weather is in store for at least the next few days. Taking a look back at this weather map now as this trough moves out of the way. It's pretty gusty outside, 30 to 35 mile per hour gusts for the next 2 days or so. This will push all of this out of the way real quickly, and we'll get this area of rain heading into the area beginning on Friday. Beginning on Friday, high of 62, low of 41. That rain, it's a possible storm, so maybe a rumble of thunder or two will be heard in the overnight hours as well. That'll move out of the way. Saturday, we'll get back to that mid 60 degree area, but then we'll have a cold front push through, and this will bring Sunday 41 degrees the high, 25 degrees the low, going below 32 degrees for the first time, and that will bring on Monday about a 60% chance of some snow showers. How about that? Some flurries into the area in central Indiana beginning as soon as Monday. Welcome winter weather already in central Indiana. But this weather has no impact over in Germany, with Chris and Nate, the Colts, taking on the Falcons in Germany. Next up.
Good morning, Greyhounds, and welcome back to your Wednesday show. We have some very exciting things to talk about with our very special guest.
So what do you find unique about UINDY, and what kind of pulled you here?
What are you doing?
Watching Good Morning Greyhounds every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m.
In the heart of Indianapolis, our main mission is to keep you informed, bringing you local and national news. With the upcoming presidential election, there's no better time than now to tune in. But the most important part is you. This is UINDY TV News.
There's no shot. He has time to make that throw. There's no shot he gets away from that.
He's that guy, dude. He is that guy. When it comes to football, Mr. Football, right?
Not a chance he escapes the pocket like that, gets out, makes a throw on the run, on the dot. No way.
He's going to do the same thing to Michigan. Watch it. 10-0 heading into Ohio State. I'm calling it.
You want to bet?
Let's do it.
I'm Caden Colbert alongside Jay Kelton for college sports, pro sports, everything Indianapolis.
There's often a moment when you're helping somebody with math where they just suddenly get over that little barrier and they get it. It's a nice aha moment, and I really like being involved in helping students achieve that moment, and we do get a lot of those here in the tutoring lab.
Emma Donnan, elementary and middle school. Discover the Donnan difference. A school where you can celebrate others. Come together as a community. Be a part of a learning environment where students and teachers are appreciated. Emma Donnan, a culture that can't be beat, that's going onward together. A school filled with love. Emma Donnan.
I love my school.
Sadly, all good things have to come to an end, and the Colts' win streak comes to an end on Sunday, 27-20 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you look at that game, Chris, and it was a game that started really well for the Colts. I mean, they score on the opening drive, 4th and goal, they get a turnover, they turn over the Steelers' defense, and you thought things were turning correctly in the right way. As you see on your screen, Daniel Jones gets it in from a yard out. But the problem is the rest of the game. Right, you say. So you look at the 6 turnovers, 3 interceptions for Daniel Jones. What did you see on Sunday?
Man, I just saw a Colts team that looked flustered the whole game. As you mentioned, after that opening drive, they just looked flustered the whole game. Jonathan Taylor couldn't get anything going on the ground. He's been the workhorse for this team, but credit to the Steelers defense, they had his number all day. So if they can take Jonathan Taylor out of the game, it looks like this offense gets flustered pretty easily. This looks like the Daniel Jones that I think a lot of Colts fans were expecting to get at the beginning of the year, with 3 interceptions, kind of the Daniel Jones that a lot of Giants fans are familiar with. But yeah, my biggest takeaway is all day, team looked very flustered. It did not look like the same team that we've been watching the whole year.
And one of those teams I would say that was flustered was the offensive line. Daniel Jones was hit a lot, sacked a couple times, and also a couple fumbles, which added to those 6 total turnovers. For the day, though, Daniel Jones, 342 yards passing, the touchdown, 3 interceptions. But we talk about that running game, 14 rushes for only 45 yards for a guy who was in the talks for the MVP in Jonathan Taylor. And then one of the cool, little stats for you, the Colts have not had a 100-yard rusher, or 100-yard receiver this season. Well, they had 2 against the Steelers, and Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr., but all in the loss of the effort. As we now move to another Indianapolis team who also, sadly, in the loss column, and this one because, well, the players are not there.
Right.
You're talking about the Pacers. They fell 117-115 to the Milwaukee Bucks on Monday. And you look at it was just an iconic Giannis game. But, you look at, the comeback as well for Miles Turner, and, well, frankly, I think Isaiah Jackson outplayed him.
Right, he did. That was probably the big story heading into this game, was Miles Turner's first time back in Indianapolis since departing from the Pacers. And I think the big question a lot of people had was, what was the crowd reaction going to be like? Well, I was there at this game, and I could tell you, it was not pleasant. He got booed the whole night. Anytime he touched the ball, crowd booed him the whole night. Fans not happy with him. But only 9 points from him tonight. Now, I know not a lot of people are going to be talking about that because of the Giannis game winner on us. That's what everyone's going to want to talk about. But yeah, only 9 points from Miles Turner. I think our bigs outplayed him tonight. And I think that's going to be in his mind for a while. But again, Giannis Antetokounmpo is just that dude right now. Hits that game winner, sends us home unhappy a couple nights ago.
And you look at, back to Miles Turner, and, he talks big when he's not after the game and got booed. He was crying a little bit, and everywhere else he's talking about, the Pacers are just tough guys. Right. We're talking about Isaiah Jackson had an incredible game at the center position. 21 points, 10 rebounds against Miles Turner. But the story of the game was Giannis. Giannis finished with 33 points, and of course, like you mentioned, that game winner. And you look at the Pacers team overall, and They had a couple of guys come with them. I mean, Pascal Siakam dropped his 32 points. Jarris Walker and Aaron Nesmith both had 17, 18 points between the two of them, total, so 35 total. So they had some good production. It was just I would say, the inability to play guys. Andrew Nimhard, Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell. I mean, all these guys are just injured, and it's just one of the sad things, to see about this Pacers team, who obviously, knowing that Tyrese Halliburton was out for the season, but everyone else was not expected to be out.
Like when I was at this game, you look at the injury report list, I think the Bucks had one guy ineligible. The Pacers had 2 whole pages. They had to go through a slideshow on the Jumbotron to put how much people are out for the Pacers right now. And quite frankly, there's just not much you can do when you are missing that much players. Moving on to the world of baseball now, we have a champion in Major League Baseball right now. Game 7 of the World Series was this past Saturday, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are your 2025 World Series champions. The game got underway around 8 o'clock on Saturday night, and Blue Jays fans thought it was going great in the 3rd inning when Bo Bichette would come back and hit a 3-run home run to put them up 3-0. But the Dodgers would crawl back, and at the end of the 9th inning, we were tied up, which means extra innings in a Game 7 of the World Series. It doesn't get much better than that. As we would stay tied, it would stay in a stalemate through the 10th inning. In the 11th inning, Will Smith would hit a solo home run, and that would be all she wrote, as the Dodgers would close the door on the Blue Jays to win their 9th World Series title in franchise history, and 2nd back-to-back. So Nate, 2 weeks ago, we stood up here giving our predictions. I think you said Dodgers in 5, I said Dodgers in 6. Neither one of us were correct. So I just want to know, what was your biggest takeaway from this series, and what surprised you the most throughout this series?
We talked a little bit of this on First Stop Sports. We talked about the salary cap and the minimum, and I think that's something that we're going to have to go to with the Dodgers team being so dominant as it is, and with all these players and all the deferred contracts, they have the best team, and you saw that in the final but you know what I mean, the final inning of the game is they just had the better team. They were able to pull in the bullpen guys who started a couple of games ago. They had so many guys who can pitch. It just turned into, at the end, it was just too much to take for the Blue Jays. And, you look at this Dodgers team and, back-to-back World Series champions, and they're looking to go for a 3rd. But they're looking to start in a couple of months back up for the Dodgers. Well, the UINDY men's basketball, women's basketball, about to start back tonight, actually. Nick at 9 at 6 o'clock. But when they're coming out, there's also another flavor, I think, for Coke coming out. Jackson, tell us more about that.
Well, thank you, Nate, and thank you, Chris. As the holidays come up, Coca-Cola has announced the release of a new festive flavor. Holiday Creamy Vanilla is the new limited holiday flavor in 5 years. It's described as smooth vanilla flavors that capture the joy of the season. The new flavor hits the shelves on Monday and is available in both regular and zero sugar versions with 12-ounce cans and 20-ounce bottles.
If you're feeling the holiday spirit early this year, you might want to check this performance out. Pentatonix is bringing their Christmas in the City tour to downtown Indianapolis. The Grammy-winning a cappella group will be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on November 30th at 7 p.m. The vocal quintet has released 9 Christmas albums covering popular songs like Mary Did You Know, Little Drummer Boy, and Hallelujah. Tickets are on sale now.
The Tony Award-winning musical Les Miserables is on tour and making a stop at Butler University. Through November 9th, fans can catch one of the performances of the popular musical at Close Memorial Hall. Les Mis has been seen by over 130 million people worldwide in 53 countries and 22 languages. Tickets can be bought at indianapolis.broadway.com.
While Friday the 13th might be a superstitious day for some, getting new ink on the day is a long-standing tradition in the tattoo community. To celebrate, some tattoo shops will offer an array of flash tattoos for a discounted price. Those hoping to participate are encouraged to arrive early as lines can tend to form. Local spots such as Fountain Square Tattoo, The Mandela Effect, La Vida Ink, and more are offering deals for those seeking a new tattoo.
Do you have any tattoos?
I do. I have 8.
8? That's a lot. I only have 2, but like an addiction, you can't stop getting them.
Exactly. I mean, I might go check out Fountain Square. Most of mine are from Fountain Square, and I have an artist over there. might just go over there, get a tattoo.
Yeah, it'll be a little cheaper if you go Friday the 13th too.
Oh yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for tuning into UINDY TV News.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at UINDY-TV to stay up anything, all things sports and news and entertainment.
And as always, have a good night.
And be safe, Indy.